February 18th, 2001, Daytona International Speedway. Michael Waltrip had been chasing one thing for 16 years, a win. 462 starts, not one checkered flag. But on this day, everything changed. This was more than just the first race of the season. It was the beginning of a new era. NASCAR's 2001 campaign opened with fresh faces, new technology, Fox's first ever broadcast, and the return of Dodge to the Cup Series. But all eyes were on Dale Earnhardt Inc. Bill Elliott sat on the pole, but the DEI Chevys looked untouchable. Dale Jr. was fast, Michael Waltrip was hungry, and Dale Earnhardt, he was in full control, having just won his Gatorade Duel and looking sharp in that number 3. The race had speed, strategy, and long green flag runs, but then, with less than 30 to go, chaos hit the backstretch. The big one, 19 cars torn up. Tony Stewart flipped violently through the grass. His car was destroyed, but he climbed out on his own. The field got shaken up, but DEI still had something for them. And in the final laps, they were the story. Michael Waltrip led, Dale Jr. was second, Earnhardt ran third, playing defense like only he could, keeping the pack behind 2 of his cars out front. Then came turn 4. The white flag was already out. Earnhardt got caught in a tight 3-wide battle. Sterling running low, Ken Schrader up top. The 3 got loose, dipped down, came back up the track, and was hit hard on the right side. It was a scary hit, and everything changed in that moment. But out front, the dream was finally real. Michael Waltrip crossed the line first. After 463 starts, he was a Cup Series winner. Dale Jr. came home second, and it was a DEI 1-2, exactly how it was drawn up. But the celebration didn't last. As crews waited for Earnhardt to come down pit road, silence started to take over. Victory lane was quiet, and soon, the entire sport would come to understand the weight of what just happened. That moment reshaped NASCAR forever. It was the end of an era, and the beginning of a movement to make the sport safer. From that race forward, the Hans device, safer cars, reinforced walls, things changed because they had to. Michael Waltrip's first win will always be remembered. It was emotional, powerful, and unforgettable. Not just because of what he earned, but because of who wasn't there to celebrate it with him. I was 10 years old when this race happened, and it's the first race I can remember seeing live on TV. The race was absolutely action-packed, and the end of the race, of course, was really terrible. Compared to Tony Stewart's flip, when I saw Dale Earnhardt crash, I thought he was fine. The wreck looked just like any other wreck I've seen, and definitely not as bad as Tony Stewart's flip. But I definitely remember getting the news later that night, and I remember I had on my Dale Earnhardt diecast, and I did a little parade for him to kind of mourn the loss. As for the diecast itself, you see all around clean again. Very clean on the nose. Then on the left side, you'll see something pretty cool. It looks like all the crew members of Michael Waltrip's team signed it. You see some signatures right there on the A post, above the name, on the name rail, on the back, and all along the C post, a whole bunch of signatures. So that must have been his team putting their autographs in the car. Down the back, very clean. Nothing really going on there. And down the right side, very clean. Again, DEI was out front for most of the race. They dominated, they had a strategy, and it worked almost perfectly. Unfortunately, they just needed one more clean corner. This car was raced in 2001 and released by Action Racing Collectibles in 2001. This is an elite, standard finish. I brought this car off of eBay as well. The production quantity for this car is 2,800, and the DIN for this specific car is 1,537. The 2001 Daytona 500 was such a pivotal moment in NASCAR history, along with motorsports history. We definitely lost a great superstar, but it definitely ushered in a new era of safety with the cars, the tracks, personnel, equipment on the drivers. I'll always be grateful for the safety that followed this tragic event, but we definitely lost an American icon in this accident. Rest in peace, Dale Earnhardt.